Just 1 minute, Rachel. Why the heck are you able to come on this field trip with all of us? I really wanted it to just be all of the other moms and me.
I'm sorry, Faith. It looks like Jessica invited my daughter along on the trip with you guys, and her teacher said that I could go along with you all as well.
Really? Why is my daughter such good friends with your daughter? I really wanted Jessica to become good friends with the other kids, like Jason.
But I doubt that they will ever become good friends, right?
What? Why do you say that?
Because Jason's mom, Erica, does not like you at all.
What? Why doesn't she like me?
You're really going to ask me why? You should know the reason for that. When you went out with Erica that one time, you called her a gaudy old woman.
She must have misunderstood what I meant by that. I was saying that because I was jealous of her style.
I don't think so. Even I think that what you said seems pretty harsh. Especially the part about her being an old woman. I think you are the one who is having trouble understanding her reaction. Wait. I think you want to be good friends with her now. Because her husband is your husband's customer, right? I heard when you first learned about their situation, you threw a fit, right?
Of course I did. But now that I think about them working with one another, I want to make things right between us. It's my destiny.
Your destiny. I guess you would be jealous enough to make fun of her, since she is both gorgeous and a CEO of her own company.
Exactly my point. She has so much confidence in herself that it makes me want to be her partner. Her husband must be so lucky to have her. I have no other choice than to become her best friend.
Wow. You are really brown-nosing for her. I'm sure if she really started to get fed up with you, your husband would absolutely pay the price for it. I doubt that Erica is fooled by your lies saying that. You just want to be really good friends with her. You are going to have to try harder than just using the excuse that you are jealous of her.
What? Why do you feel the need to say crap like that to me?
Well, it's just that Erica doesn't even try to hide the fact that she hates you already. So I don't want to see you continue trying to deceive her or anything.
I get it now. You are just trying to throw my game off so that you can get to her first.
What? What does that even mean?
Your daughter and her son are already close friends with one another, so you probably think that you are already close enough to her to start protecting her.
What makes you think that?
Well, if she was my friend, she wouldn't need to worry about other people making fun of her. Me and her are both on a whole nother level than you are, so you would never be able to touch us.
A different level?
We are practically at the top. Listen, you are pretty much at the bottom of society's classes. So you don't even have the right to say her name? Because of that, I should be getting on you about treating those that are better than you with the respect that they deserve.
What are you even talking about?
Yeah. Say whatever you want, but you are at the bottom of the barrel. So don't even whisper her name in front of me.
But why do you think that I am a lower class compared to you?
Because it is obvious. You and your husband are both freeloaders in this world, and freeloaders are only known for being at the bottom.
What?
Come on. Quit this act of always being surprised already. It's making my blood boil. And besides, I don't have the time to just sit around and chat like you do. I shouldn't even have to talk to some lowlife at this point. Hello, Rachel. I was laughing my butt off at what happened to you today. Even now, I am still crying from laughter just thinking about the look on your face at that moment. But I just had to text you to make sure you're okay.
Faith, what the hell?
So, it seems like you are doing okay after all. But that's right. You only fell and got covered in mud while we were on the field trip.
I didn't just fall down, you lunatic. You ended up pushing me into that dirty river. I was close to breaking my ankle on the rocks when you did that.
But you didn't, right? So you don't have to whine about it.
But I'm also covered in scratches and bruises and a sprained ankle.
A twisted ankle and some scratches, huh? But let's be honest here, a twisted ankle isn't really even an injury, right?
Screw you. Was this all a part of getting back at me?
And if it was?
It was super dangerous. I could have been really hurt after that if I had fallen even harder.
But I already told you before, right? You shouldn't come around me, ever.
But our kids are a part of the same preschool. Of course, we would be around each other when we go out with our kids on a field trip.
Then maybe you should have just stayed home. About being covered in mud. Because compared to the rest of us parents, you are at the bottom of the ladder. So we didn't even care about you anyway. Anyways, you don't need to worry about being covered in mud. You just need to learn that things like that will happen when you force yourself to come along with us.
Seriously?
By the way, I know about what is going on with your family, and it is freaking crazy.
What are you talking about now?
Your husband. I heard that he is unemployed now. At least now he will look good next to his dirty and poor wife. So if you decide to ever try and talk to me again, I even think twice about throwing you into a muddy river again. I'd be careful from now on.
I'll let my husband know that the 300 million deal will be called off.
Huh?
Oh, sorry about that. Your husband was in the middle of making a pretty big deal with my husband, but that is history now. Your husband should be getting home soon, right? I'd let him know as soon as you see him, okay?
Now, how the hell do you know anything about the business that my husband deals with?
Well, that's because I am the CEO in charge of making that deal happen.
What? You're a CEO?
That's right.
What is going on? Did you hit your head on a rock when you fell into that river or something? Aren't you embarrassed to be saying something like that to me?
Why? Did I say something strange?
Because there is no way that you are the CEO of the company that my husband is receiving an offer from. And actually, there is no way that you are a CEO of any company. No way at all. I am laughing so hard at the fact that you actually think I would believe you.
I don't care if you find it hard to believe me or not. It's the truth.
Really? You are hilarious. Honestly, you're pretty rude for making me laugh this loudly. I am probably annoying the neighbors at this point.
You're the one acting rude for not taking my word seriously.
Come on.
Your husband's trade partner, Stun, is the company that I own.
What? Stun. Stun. Is that cosmetic care and supplements company, right? The one that also owns a lot of hair salons and nail parlors?
Correct.
Are you serious?
Why would I be lying to someone like you about owning such a huge and popular company? If you really can't believe what I'm saying, take a look at the company's homepage and you will find my name down at the bottom. My name should be down with all of the company's contact information.
Seriously? What the hell? What is this?
Are you starting to freak out a little now, Faith? Do you even know how to react to something like this?
Why? Or, I guess I should ask, how are you the CEO of Stun?
Because a long time ago, I used to be a doctor.
Wait, a doctor?
My family is all made up of doctors, so it was in my blood to become one myself. My grandpa started his own hospital, and that is where most of my family started to work. But then over time, they all started to form their own clinics all over the US. So after seeing how successful my family had become, I wanted to be a doctor myself.
I don't get it.
At first, I was thinking that I wanted to work within a hospital. But over time, while in school, I started to think about how to stop sicknesses before they had a chance to start. I also wanted to make ways for people to live a longer and healthier life. So from there, I started a company that worked to make ways for people to treat themselves with all sorts of remedies that would keep them healthy and away from having to go to the hospital. I'm really sorry. I'm probably speaking about things that go right over your head, huh? I just wanted to show you that I'm telling you the truth. I'm guessing you still don't understand? Or do you?
I understand you, you jerk. Don't treat me like an idiot.
All right, all right. I was just trying to tell you about how my company, Stun, was formed.
In other words, what does any of that matter to me? Oh, does that mean that your husband needs to depend on his wife for everything then? That's pretty lousy if you ask me.
He doesn't depend on me at all, really. He holds certification for being both a pharmacist and for being a registered dietitian. He also has a doctorate in medicine from the University of Michigan.
What? But
So he has taken all of the skills and knowledge that he has learned over the many years that he has worked and helped put all of those into making my business function.
how do you have the time to run a company like that if you two are always coming to your daughter's kindergarten events, though? It just doesn't make any sense. I thought it was because the two of you don't have any decent jobs, so you have all this free time on your hands.
Normally, someone as busy as a company's CEO wouldn't have the time to show up to every event, right? Well, then, what do you think of Erica's husband? You don't see him showing up all the time, right?
Because he has all sorts of important work to attend to at his high-paying job. When there is work, someone in his position needs to get it done. He can only take a break when he gets time off, I'm sure. That's just how important he is to the company he works for.
I see. Then I am very lucky to have him around me. You must be pretty jealous of the duties that he is given at his job,
Why would I be jealous of Erica's husband?
because the trade partner your husband is dealing with at the moment is Erica's husband, right? That would then mean that Erica's husband is handling all of your husband's trade offers for me, right?
Wait, what? Erica's husband works for your company? And he works below you.
So you really didn't understand how everything fits together then, huh? I'd be pretty surprised about this as well if it was my first time learning about it.
I'm freaking out right now. He's under you.
But I don't really view him as being below me as my employee or anything.
No matter how you try and see things, you are at the top.
Well, you are right about that, but Dave, I meant Erica's husband graduated from the same university as my husband and I did, the University of Michigan.
I can't.
Us three were always joining the same clubs and events at UOF.
I can't believe you all studied together there. And I really can't believe that someone like you graduated from there as a doctor.
It's the truth.
How did you hide all of this from me?
I was in the medical program, my husband was in the pharmaceuticals program, and Dave was part of the economics program. So when we all graduated, we tried our hand at finding a job as well as considering going to graduate school. But when I brought up the idea that I wanted to start my own company, the three of us decided to start it together.
Why did it have to be the three of you, though?
It wasn't just the three of us. At the time of us starting up, Erica also joined our ranks.
Really? But Erica runs a hair salon.
But that salon that she runs is one of the many salons that my company operates. Of course, she does run that place like it is her own company.
This is all too much for me. Erica is also under you.
But to me, I don't think of them as being under me. I have told you that already.
No matter how you think of it, they are all your employees.
Well, if that's the way you want to think of it, then go right ahead. Now that I really think about it, if I were to become really upset with you and act on my emotions, then you and your husband would truly have to pay for your actions. You understand what I'm saying, right?
I think so.
I'd like for your husband to forget about it.
Hold on. I was the one that made you get angry, not my husband.
You're just now going to start blaming yourself? I get that it was you that pushed me into the river and almost caused me to get seriously injured, but the poor mentality that you have, well, you share it with your husband.
No, no, no. I was the one that hurt you. I did it on purpose.
I don't think so. From what I heard your husband say, he thought it was very helpful and funny of you to push me into the river. At least that's what I heard. I mistaken? You didn't know about what he said?
Oh my God.
Just after I was pushed into that river, Dave received a message from your husband saying that I got what I deserved. And then after that, for Dave to finish up with processing the 300 million deal.
What the hell was he thinking?
Right. You guys really are the perfect couple. Above you just pushing people around and calling them names, your husband seems to take pride in that and finds it helpful towards his career. You guys were really meant to be, but for it to all have ended up like this, well, that must really suck for you.
He's an idiot. A complete idiot. He used what I did to you to try and make it seem like some sort of power play.
That's why I have been saying the two of you created your own demise. You both have that same disgusting mentality, right? It's hard to believe that the two of you really didn't know that I was the CEO of the company that your husband was trying so hard to make a deal with.
But for him to just use what I did to you as some sort of funny joke is unthinkable.
So you have finally started to think with some composure now. What is really unthinkable is that you would push me into a dangerous and dirty river like you did in the first place. But if you would have had composure and thought about how pushing me would have led to something like this, well, then maybe we wouldn't have to be having this conversation at all.
I did it because someone of your lower class was good friends with Erica. I couldn't forgive you for trying to get along with someone that was way above our level.
At some point, you should realize that calling me lower class is a mistake, right?
You guys always had time to come to our kids' kindergarten events. So how was I supposed to think of you as anything else?
I think that you are just way too biased then. Dave, Erica, and my husband and I all in the same boat. So you must have really had some bias against those that have more time on their hands than others, huh?
I just want to know why a CEO like you was able to always show up to those events. Does your company share the same schedule as you do? Are you guys all able to have that much free time there?
You think that stun employees have a lot of free time? If you are asking how much free time we have, how about you ask your husband that question?
I don't want to.
My company has a whole lot of smaller businesses under its reign, and for you to think that we would have that much free time is absurd. We, as a healthcare-based company, pride ourselves on the fact that whenever there is any sort of family or education-based event that one of our employees needs to attend, we give them that time off to make sure they can be there, no matter how many times a year those events happen, and that includes me. So it doesn't matter if I am the CEO or if I just starting out at my company, family and education come first. Do you understand?
My husband hasn't ever even come to any of my kids' kindergarten events. Not even once. And when I was giving birth to her.
Sorry to hear that, but not all companies treat their employees the same. And as for the company he works for, I have heard a lot. At best, they are constantly working hard. But at worst, they tend to overwork their employees a lot.
You're right.
Also, if you ask me, his company barely even trains their employees.
What?
According to some of the other parents at a few of the kindergarten events, they say that when they have worked with your husband's company, they notice that all of the employees try to force contracts and deals to happen with other companies, and have a very rude behavior when doing so.
But my husband is one of the department managers there.
Wait, what? You thought he was in a position of leadership?
He is, though, right?
Well, from what I saw, he just works as one of those rude and arrogant employees trying to push contracts out.
Seriously. But he told me that he was a department manager. He told me that he even went to a huge work party when he was given the position.
Well, that really sucks. He even tricked his wife into thinking he was a big deal.
That jerk. He actually lied to me.
Looks that way to me. You poor thing.
You don't actually feel bad for me, do you?
Of course I don't, because you two laughed at the fact that you pushed me into a dirty river, causing me to sprain my ankle and get covered in a ton of bruises.
But I apologize to you for that.
Did you? I thought that someone of your class couldn't be seen apologizing to someone at the bottom of the ladder.
None of that class crap matters at this point.
So you are finally regretting the way you thought of me before.
You are still below me, even if I need to apologize to you this one time.
The fact that you still think I am of a lesser class than you are is scary. Today, did you notice what brand of clothing I was wearing when you shoved me into the water?
What does that matter?
Both my jacket and scarf were Ralph Lauren. My purse was Kate Spade. My belt and accessories Gucci, and my watch was a Rolex. And my shoes were from Jimmy Choo.
What? Are you serious?
That was everything that I was wearing today when you decided to push me into that dirty river. Actually, I wore that sort of branded fashion all the time, but
What?
if you think about it, both Erica and I wear the same style of clothing.
Really? I thought the two of you just wore normal clothes from Kohl's or something.
That's odd, isn't it? I could have sworn that someone who is top class, like you, would have noticed the brands that we wore. It'd be funny to think that you were just lying about being better than me. But here we are.
I didn't notice.
Well, everything I was wearing that day, I would like you to compensate me for.
What?
Adding everything up, I'd say you need to pay me around $40,000.
40,000?
Well, that is also including the cost of the lawyer I want to hire to help make sure that everything that was ruined in the water is taken care of. I'm sure you can understand that, right?
You're getting a lawyer?
Well, hold on. I just remembered that recently the Rolex that I had on was part of a limited run, so the price of it shot up. So when I get you the final amount, it'll probably be a bit over that 40,000.
I don't have a way to pay you that much money.
Really? Because I thought that you flaunting your title of being above me meant that you had all sorts of money just sitting around. You made that pretty clear to me before, right? If you do want to lose that confidence of being above all the middle and lower class people, then you'd better pay up for what I am asking.
But I was just saying that because my husband was supposed to land that $300 million deal.
Listen, I was able to go and talk face to face with your husband's CEO.
You were?
Yes. And I told him the consequences of not finishing that deal with my company.
Why did you go talk face to face with the CEO?
What? Because that deal was going to benefit both of our companies, right? So when there is going to be that big of a deal taking place between two large companies, it would seem just fine to go and talk with the other company's CEO. Do you think I should have spoken directly to your husband instead?
Well,
I'm glad I was able to talk with his CEO about this. Luckily, we were still able to make this deal work out. And without the help of your husband, I also updated the CEO on the performance of his employees and made sure that he knew about how reckless some of them were, including your husband. He said he would implement new training courses so that those that are less than suitable for their position would be forced to learn how to be a decent employee.
And when that is all happening?
I'm sure your husband will get a call about it.
And what will happen to him? Will he have to be retrained? I bet if he apologizes to the CO, he will be off the hook, right?
You think your husband, the cause of all of this, will be let off that easily?
But if he isn't, he will probably be fired.
Well, I don't really know what will happen to him, but I have no need to know that sort of thing. But all I care about is the fact that that deal will no longer be under your husband's name. And his CO still hasn't fully finalized the deal, so I am not sure if I'm going to sign on it yet. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say about my company's business.
Then maybe you can get Erica and her husband to help try and mend things with you. You're the CEO after all.
I thought that I was part of the lower class, and you said that you didn't want me talking to people like Erica anymore?
You are not lower class. Please, go and speak to them about this. Then maybe you can all try and save the deal and get my husband off the hook.
Not gonna happen, Faith. I already know what she will say anyway. She'll tell me how much she hates you and that she would never try to help bail your husband out.
You're all jerks.
I feel that after what you have done and said, you are the only one that has acted like a real jerk. Don't you think so?
Yes.
All right then. As for the money that you owe me, I'll have my lawyer call you and lay down all of the fine details so that you do forget a penny. And I almost forgot. You'll probably get a call soon from the kindergarten.
Why?
I do think that they will want a parent that causes trouble between other parents to show up there anymore. And I think that all of the other parents will agree with the kindergarten on that call. So good luck trying to work your way out of that.
What do you mean? Hey, Rachel, you can help me, please.
The day after, when Faith arrived at the kindergarten to pick up her daughter, she was met by a very pissed off and stubborn teacher. Actually, it was the owner of the kindergarten, and she stated that even before the event that unfolded the day before, other mothers and fathers were complaining of the way that Faith acted around them. The teacher made sure to let Faith know that she also heard about the unfortunate ways of thinking that Faith had, and that she didn't want someone who thought it was okay to hurt those that she thought were of a lesser class than her. After that, she told Faith that her and her husband were no longer allowed to come to the kindergarten to join in any more events, and that if she said or did anything awful again, that her daughter would be kicked out of the school. The now miserable Faith went back to her house, where she stumbled upon the letter that my lawyer sent to her regarding all of the money that she owed me for my ruined clothing. On top of that, when her husband returned home, he told her that he was being demoted and would be moved to a new location in South Dakota. It seems that the two of them got what they deserved after causing those around them so much stress with their horrible mentalities. Of course, her husband didn't fight back, and so him and Faith both moved to a small ranch house in the middle of nowhere with their daughter. And even though Faith's husband had his paycheck cut in half, and she was forced to work a part-time job, she was still able to pay me back for everything that she had ruined of mine, albeit taking a few more months than I had wanted. I really do wonder how they will fare trying to live their new lives out in the middle of farm field, but I suppose it is better to just move on and forget about them.